Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains,
we speak.
Off in the distance, the game's dragging on. There's strikes on the batter, some runners are on. Then suddenly everyone's looking at me. My mind has been wondering, what could it be? They point to the sky and I look up above, and a baseball falls into my glove. I play right field. It's important you know. You gotta know how to catch. You gotta know how to throw. That's why I play in right field, way out where the dandelions grow.
As a proud sponsor of Little League Baseball, Pizza Hut welcomes all the kids who make it great.
Making it great.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Brian. No, this is my announcer voice, and you're listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Should I do this as my real self? Oh, shucky darn. Hi, this is Brian Cummings. You're listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Okay, do it straight. Hi, this is Brian Cummings, and actually you are listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Send money and real estate.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast,
Unofficially the official podcast
of Pop Culture Con, Denver, Colorado. I am Ryan. With me is
Zach.
And
Unofficially, no, just kidding. Brad.
And all the way from Copenhagen, Brandon. What's up? Talking to the mic.
Good. I'm good.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. All right, Brandon, thanks for stopping by.
Long time no see. You might remember from episode 8?
Yeah.
9? I don't know.
So, Brandon is in town because, see, he is in Copenhagen because he's an American citizen. Now, he's only allowed to stay in Copenhagen for so long because there's a thing called a...
Maybe we shouldn't broadcast.
I was going to say a huge dick, but whatever.
It's okay. No one listens to this show but us.
Okay, good.
No, welcome, Brandon.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Brandon and I go way back. We went to Blockbuster all the time.
7th grade? What were we? 7th grade?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we would pick the worst horror films at Blockbuster and watch them. And then I get them now like on Blu-ray, you know, like Jack Frost and things like that. And they're not quite as good as you remember them, but sometimes...
Leprechaun, Ernest, Scared, Stupid.
Yep, those are a couple of them. You know what I mean, Vern? Brandon, what is your favorite movie of all time?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
The questions get harder as the day goes on.
Goonies, maybe. Goonies, Top Gun, Weird Science.
Yeah, Brandon is a product of the 80s, so he really likes that kind of stuff. What is it about Top Gun that you like?
The airplanes. Am I pretty good at this?
You're the best interview we've ever had.
Is this riveting?
Brandon's not alone. That's the only reason I like it.
So I looked it up. He was actually deep into the show. 118 for Insidious 2 is the last time you were on. And the only time you were on.
Sweet movie. That was actually, those are the best latest horror movies, I think.
Yeah, but you also talked about how much you like It, the new It.
Oh, yeah. As far as a remake goes, I think it was pretty good.
How do you feel about the new Venom, Brandon?
The Venom was okay, I think. It was Predator that I hated.
How did you feel about Predator?
I hated it.
What about it did you not like?
I have no idea. The whole thing was like, I didn't like how little thought they put into any of it. It sounds like they just had three three dudes sitting around saying, we could make a movie.
What kind of movie do you want to make?
I don't know.
What about The Predator?
I think they should remake Goonies.
Yeah. big Goonie fan.
Who would you cast as the new Goonies?
I don't know. Stop asking me questions.
The whole cast of the remake of it.
So yeah, Brandon does like movies. He just doesn't know how to answer questions about them. Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week we saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Stay tuned to the end of the show. We'll tell you if you should see it or not, and then we will play a trailer and then spoil it. We will also talk about movies we've been watching, movie news, movies that are coming out on Blu-ray. Talk about Brandon's life and how it's going out in Europe.
Yes.
What's your favorite part about being in Copenhagen, Brandon?
I don't know.
Why don't you speak some Danish for us?
Jeg taler lidt dansk. I speak little Danish.
Okay, so Brandon is what people don't like of people coming to, like foreigners coming to their countries.
Like the epitome.
Brandon's been there for 10 years, doesn't speak their language. He did get his doctorate. Oh, he is a doctor, guys. This is Dr. Hopkinson.
That's why I'm so good with the questions.
That's why he's so good with the questions. But yeah.
Doctor, what's wrong with me? I don't know. I can't tell you.
The Goonies?
Have you seen Goonies?
Did you hate Predator 2?
But Brandon's been out there for 10 years, and he can say one phrase in Danish.
I can also say, I can't remember. Never mind.
Oh, you also, did you bring some of that great candy?
I did. I brought some.
Okay, so there's this candy they have out there that's black licorice. It is so good.
Salty licorice.
It's so good.
Really?
Yeah. The candy.
It's like probably the best candy you've ever had.
It's excellent.
It's excellent. By best candy, you give it to people as a joke, saying, "Try this candy," and
then watch them spit it out.
But what's the best part of Copenhagen? You've been there for 10 years.
I have no idea. I think the people are pretty cool. I think.
I was hoping you were going to say your girlfriend, but you didn't say that
either. It was my girlfriend.
Okay, I thought so. Brad, make sure you edit that. There's no pause and being coached. That's his favorite part of Copenhagen.
On it. Beep, bop, boop.
She's from Latvia. That was a trick question.
Oh, there you go.
I want at least half points for
So
that.
his girlfriend's from Latvia, and every time I think of that, I think of
Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Is he from Latvia?
Latveria. It's like
It's
like a pretend like
basically.
Latvia.
It's fake Latvia.
Yeah, but that's all I can think about is Victor Von Doom. Wait a minute. Is that country ran by a dude who has robots of himself? Wears a green cloak?
I don't know. I'd have to
Bet
check
it
into
is. I bet it is.
I'd have to ask her.
Yeah, she'd probably know. She probably knows him. Do you think she knows Victor Von Doom? Knows Dr. Doom? That'd be sweet if your last name was Doom. I think you have to be a doctor.
That'd
then.
be sweet, actually.
I think you almost have to be.
Or a mad scientist or something.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Or a cop, Officer Doom.
Ooh, that'd be cool too.
I have a colleague whose last name is Bizarre, I think. So she's Dr. Bizarre.
Sweet.
Isn't that crazy?
Ooh. That is cool. That's a
supervillain.
That
name.
is like a total
That is
supervillain.
a Stan Lee
name.
character right there.
So, is it really cold there right now, Brandon, or is there lots of windmills with tulips and?
No.
Wait, is that?
It's cold, but it's not
Is that
like
Denmark?
really cold.
Is that what they do there?
No, they have windmills, I think, in some of the islands.
Do you
That's
wear
like the
clogs to
Netherlands,
work?
We do, kind of, actually. We do. The lab shoes look a lot like clogs. Like a surprisingly... They're lab shoes, though. You wear them in laboratories in the U.S., but coincidentally, they look
And
made
then
out
you
of
walk
wood.
in and they're like, "Welcome to the lab. This is a very special lab for all of us." I don't know how the Danes sound.
pretty close,
Probably pretty close. All those Nordic countries just blend together. So if I was going to go visit Denmark, what would I do there?
Ooh.
You've been there for 10 fucking years. I'm not tricking you.
They haven't let me out of the laboratory. The Tivoli. There's the Tivoli there. That's kind of cool. It's like a really cool old school amusement park. I think Michael Jackson wanted to buy it at one point. It's awesome though. It's like the most quintessentially.
So a lot of
charming-
kids go there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that in that Disney biography that they discuss is like one of the inspirations for Disneyland.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's exactly what it is. It looks like you're walking around like Disneyland.
Does it have like kind of just like an older time feel, or have they updated it?
No, it's like you are walking around in like the 1800s. It's a gorgeous place.
That's
gorgeous.
Now I have a reason to go to Danish territory.
Man, it's
So, I mean,
fantastic.
you've stayed there for so long, so there has to be a reason why you want to stay there, because obviously he's not coming back to see your friend. So,
no, I really like it out there. It's the people, kind of. Everything kind of makes sense out there. I mean, the States is a little crazy. I don't want to give any political
Especially
opinions.
right now.
Anything that counters controversy, I don't want to bring
that's
up.
fine.
Yeah.
But no, but you have to come back and go back because of visa, huh?
Yep.
So it's a visa problem. So he has to go back and forth, and
Should have switched to MasterCard. Boo.
but you'll get that all cleared up, and you'll be back
Piece of
solving cancer problems or whatever you do in a lab. I don't know what you do.
Solving lab mysteries.
Yeah.
So I
the
always
Sherlock
say this.
Holmes of the lab.
My friend Brandon has a doctorate. He's Dr. Brandon Hopkinson. But I've seen him do the dumbest things. And so, like, it's because you're my best friend, so I have a hard time thinking, like, of you as a doctor, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Remember when we were younger and we'd jump on your trampoline and try to see the naked people next door? And they're having...
I do not recall that.
I do. And we used to throw the football over there, so we'd have to jump over. The parents were gone, and they're like having a college party.
I also do not recall that.
All right, thank you for your time, Brandon. You may leave the Senate chamber.
I like beers. I like to drink beer.
That's enough, Dr.
Wow,
Brandon.
topical, Brandon. Nice. Fred, you've known Brandon a long time. Does he look like a doctor to you?
Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing my...
I was there for the stupid stuff, so yeah, I can see it.
I still do a lot of stupid stuff. It's basically
I
a
switched the
job
samples.
We all do stupid things. I'll tell you the dumbest thing I ever did as a cop. So I pull this person over, and I try to change my approach every once in a while. And like, this person was speeding down this road. I go, I'm going to do a passenger side contact, and I'm going to scare the shit out of them. So I get out of my car and I walk behind it. And as I walk through their car, I just like fall. I fell in a fucking ditch that for some reason I didn't see.
Officer Bumbles.
And I roll, and then I like immediately pop back up by their door, and the guy's like, "Whoa, shit!" I was like, "That's right, ninja."
That's right. Yeah, I am tough.
It's a new police tactic we're trying out.
I was thinking of that like music that. Just, I don't know how you miss a ditch. It was like it literally ran the length of the road.
Did Ryan tell you about the time that he tried to catch a woman from committing suicide, and then he left the parking brake on?
I put my car in reverse. So there out.
Motor oils.
All right.
Calling us racist?
So this girl was running across the highway, and she was going to Superman it in front of a truck because she wanted to kill herself.
Yeah.
Not while Officer Frost is on duty.
Not on my time.
So I see her, and I pull up, turn my car like I'm trained, put my car in, quotes, park, get out. I'm not joking, she's about to jump in front of the semi, and I go, "Ooh," and Enrique Iglesias, I can be you. I grab her, and I pull her back.
Let me take a look.
And she's like, okay, I'm not going to do it. And she says, your car. I put my car in reverse. And because I turned the wheels, it's like going like a corkscrew and then smash into the Jersey barrier.
Wow.
And it had 700 miles on it. That's how new that car was. It's like, eek.
Did she live?
She did.
I'd say mission accomplished.
Yeah. And you know what? I got a life-saving award for that. You know what my chief said to me?
What's that?
Sometimes cars get in accidents.
Was it a $2,000 bill?
No, I still have the dent in there because the lieutenant was supposed to send it to the guard, and they never took it.
Holy
So I call that my life-saving award on that.
That's not as fun as Frost. Get in here. Do you know how much that damage that car was? You're out of line.
The commissioner's going to have my ass. We don't have a commissioner.
Yeah, whatever, Chief. I don't want to listen to that Patton Oswalt bit again now.
So, Brandon, you've been to so many schools. What's been the most rewarding school for you?
It's good question, Ryan.
Okay. Please tell us about it. On this new episode of Real Nerds on NPR, we're going to be talking.
Is the answer School of Hard Knocks?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I got a real one for you.
Okay.
What's the most rotten thing in Denmark?
That's like a newspaper cover headline, like once a month.
Hey, citizens, is this joke old yet? Yeah.
But it is crazy. It is crazy. Speaking of newspapers, the first time I got there, I was walking off of the plane, and you know how they have those like newspapers that are tacked up in front of some of the convenience stores? Mm-hmm. There were breasts on the cover of the newspaper.
I'm sorry, I don't know this breast thing. Boobs?
Boobs, yeah.
Okay.
Titties.
Titties. Got it. Quit trying to class this thing up.
Sorry.
Wait, one more time.
Is this the good?
Now I understand.
Is this the good part of the microphone?
Loud and clear. Got all of it.
Loud and clear.
But like nudity is nothing over there.
That's so cool.
It's absolutely nuts. That's maybe a fun story. The first time I got there, they have drinking is also not that big of a deal over there. So when I got into the program, to get all the students socializing together, they have like a retreat, like a getaway. So the first day I was there, we just kind of hung out, and then the second day we went on this retreat, and I think there's like 40 students, something like that. I think there was maybe 30 girls and 10 guys, something like that. There was more girls than guys, but it was a decent gaggle of people. And we get to this cabin, and there was 2 rooms, 2 bathrooms. And I was just thinking, guys and girls. They didn't split it up like that. They split it up into group 21 and group 20. So like the guys and girls showered together, which I thought was nuts. Coming from like the U.S., that's
RoboCop style.
Yeah, exactly. Like futuristic.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So the Denmarkians are think ahead.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Brandon is fully integrated into the culture too.
Mm-hmm.
He posted on Facebook one time. I called him out on because he took this picture of this like lady riding a bike in a snowstorm. He had like the most like, people in Denmark ride their bikes in a snowstorm. What are they doing in America or whatever he said.
It wasn't quite that douchey.
It was
close. Yeah, it was pretty close. No, they had the what's that summit that where like all the world leaders go and they
G20.
talk about
G20.
Mm-hmm. And so like all the world leaders go to one place and then talk about how you try to save the environment. And there's this like poor lady that was trying to drive her bike in the snow because she didn't want like they don't have like cars aren't like a huge thing. Everybody rides bicycles. You'll see like a mom with 3 kids and groceries on her bike. Wow. Which I thought was nuts. But like that's like kind of how you do it, isn't it?
And today I was talking about it's like, I don't want to walk through a store. I should just open up the King Supers app, tell them what I want, and park my car. That's awesome. I was Brandon also got a degree from the University of New Orleans, and I remember when you were displaced because of Katrina, and driving back there, and it was like creepy because all the houses were boarded up, and we had to get to your university like at the end of New Orleans, and I just kept on waiting for like to be murdered.
Oh man, that was nuts! Like the destruction was crazy. When we were driving back, we evacuated to Mississippi. When we were driving back, like a mile of the highway was lifted up and put on its end. Like the amount of power that thing.
Wow, that's crazy.
Was nuts. That was so crazy.
Yeah.
I remember listening to Kanye West's Gold Digger a lot
on
the drive there.
On the drive there, do you remember that we stopped at that? We were like in the back country of Louisiana.
I remember.
The Louisiana back country, which is a little rough. And now we had to stop for gas. I get out and pump it, and then I go in, and Ryan comes in. I guess you needed some Coke or something.
I remember.
And he was wearing a pink shirt, like a pink polo shirt with the collar.
No, I didn't pop the collars, okay?
Okay.
I had a little self-respect.
White sunglasses and plaid shorts, and when you open the door to the place, and all these truck drivers just like look directly at
it was
him.
literally like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I was like, Large Marge sent me?
I was laughing so hard.
Get out of here with your looks, boy.
And I was like, hey, Ryan, I'm over here.
Please tell me the postscript is that Brian got on the bar and then started dancing to tequila.
Yes. Actually, yesterday, me and Brian were thinking of that the whole time. We went shopping, and Kellen was with us, and I wonder how many people thought we were a gay couple. Because yesterday I was.
Think of how tight my pants are.
And
I didn't realize that was weird.
White pants with my Katy Perry pink shirt. And I was like, "Hey, Brandon, we're over here." Probably the most manly men walking around.
Officer Frost?
Hey!
Two dudes and a little kid. I wanted him to call me Dad, too.
Immediately, like everyone's on their phones, is like, yeah, we got a situation.
You're not going to believe it.
What am I?
Or maybe you will.
What is chèvre? Anyways, we talk about movies on Real Nerds Podcast. I'm just excited. I haven't seen Brandon in a while, and it was kind of a last-minute thing. So
2 days ago?
2 days ago. Because I was at work, and he sent me a Facebook message. He said, "Hey, can I ask a favor of you?" I'm like, "Sure." He probably wants me to send him something, or, you know, I don't know what. He's like, I need a place to stay for a week. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I came home and told my wife. Actually, I picked up Brandon at the airport, came home, wife was here. That would have been awesome, been like a sitcom.
Honey, guess who's staying with us for the weekend?
And why is Brad filming it? Oh, you won't believe it. Yep. All right, let's get this show started. 30 minutes late. Anything else you want to say, Brandon?
No, that's all I have to say.
So congratulations on being a doctor.
Thank you.
If we want to read some of your published work, where can we find it?
PubMed, Brandon Hopkinson.
Yep. So, yeah, he is a published doctor. He's worked very hard to get where he's at, so it's awesome, Brandon. Very proud of you. Some of us are doctors. Some of us are idiots. Some of us...
Super idiots.
And some of us make film. That's what we do. Yep, that about does it. But the big thing is we're all nerds in our own way. Brandon's a nerd doctor-wise. We like movies. Brandon's going to chime in with some biting commentary about the social impact that Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse has.
I haven't seen the movie, actually.
Spider-Ham, more like Spider-Damn.
I was stoked. My little boy fell in love with Spider-Ham. And so I was looking for something for him for Christmas, and they have a Spider-Man Ham $20 action figure. Unless you ordered something else through Amazon, is only $6.
Ooh.
So
it's an add-on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have a Spider-Ham coming for him.
Sweet.
Which that's why I have Evil Dead 2 in 4K, because they sent that and they haven't sent the Spider-Ham. I'm getting it on Monday, but it's weird they didn't ship it together. Right?
Maybe it's one of those Black Friday things where it might be back ordered or something.
Oh, maybe.
There's something.
It's coming. I got a text message for it, so that's all that matters.
I was gonna I ordered a Blu-ray on yesterday for a couple bucks. So they had an add-on one, but that one said won't arrive until after Christmas. But my copy of Do the Right Thing will arrive tomorrow. So I'm like, whoa, what? I don't want to deal with.
But
that.
I'm also that jerk on Amazon. It's send it to me as soon as it's available, because I don't care about the environment. They send me those packages.
I don't care how many drones you send to my door.
Yes. Soon. Hey, Brad, what's happening around town? On a segment we call Brad Hanging Out Around Town. Brad goes around town on a motorcycle. His wind's blowing in his hair.
Is this like a weekly spot, or did you just make that up?
No, I always make this up.
Every week.
It doesn't help
it.
the improv if I have someone heckling me. The motorcycle's a Harley Davidson. He's cruising down the street again.
I have a Harley now. It used to be a Vespa.
Yeah, so you're moving up in the world. And he stops at the movie theater to get some popcorn and watch a movie around town.
52 weeks of this.
Yeah, it never ends. You think it would, and I'd get old. But I'm like, I have a stupid idea to sing like an idiot every week.
It's actually pretty good.
Well, thank you, Brandon. It's off the top of my head.
You can't retire it without doing a world tour as a goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
A farewell concert.
This one is from Real Nerds Podcast, episode 324. It's called Brad Around Town on his Vespa.
Do you have a
1, 2, 3, 4.
It was a Harley 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, so it was a Harley, a Vespa. Before it was just a bicycle. I mean, it changes randomly. I mean, it depends on whatever car he pulls out of storage. He has a Jay Leno garage where it's just full of different cars.
Sweet.
I got the Batmobile.
The
Back to the
Batmobile.
Future DeLorean.
Do you want me to see how great of an improv person I am? Brad's going around town in his Batmobile. He's looking for movies that make a deal. The deal could be something awesome like
No.
fucking watching movies on Saturday night.
I like.
See, I can always recover. Bare Naked Ladies sound. They want to put me in the band of my improv skills. Anyway, Brad, what's happening around town?
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
So interesting. This week at the Esquire, it's supposed to be Edward Scissorhands, December 21st and 22nd, but they're experiencing a utility. They're experiencing a utility outage right now, and it might not be open for the midnight movie. So we'll see.
So the whole theater's down right now this
Yeah.
week? Oh, wow.
I just read the thing. It's they're Mary Queen of Scots. They've moved to the Mayan until they fix it. So.
Yeah, because that was the only thing that was going to be playing there all week. They had it on both screens.
That's a sweet movie, though.
You like Edward
Edward
Scissorhands?
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it didn't make much sense, but I guess if you don't mind not having a plot, it was a sweet.
So it's a
movie.
perfect Tim Burton movie. Got it.
I know how you feel. Vincent Price making cookies really freaked me out.
It was like I thought it was cool. It was a little like artsy. It was kind of artsy, like.
No, it has its fans.
Imaginative for
there's
sure.
a new debate because now people debate if Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Now people are debating if Edward Scissorhands is a Christmas movie.
Oh, I thought it was totally a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I mean, the predominant theme is snow.
Yeah, it explains why snow exists.
Yeah.
Like it's almost as scientific as you can get. Really?
I am like, if you. So I have two directors I can't stand: Roman Polanski because he raped a girl, and Tim Burton because he's super pretentious. And I have a hard time getting into Tim Burton stuff.
I gotcha. What else did Tim Burton do?
Well, he did Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
He did Nightmare Before Christmas,
Sweet.
Beetlejuice,
Beetlejuice was
89
awesome.
Batman.
89 Batman, Batman
Yeah.
Returns.
He did some cool movies, though.
Ed
didn't he?
Wood.
Planet of the Apes remake.
Oh,
Yeah, remember that one?
Well, that's
No,
mean.
not really.
Alice in Wonderland.
Big Fish.
Huh.
His next
I just like
release.
movie
Ed Wood.
magic. Yeah, Frankenweenie.
His next release is Dumbo. So
Yep.
he'll have to endure it.
I know. Well,
Dark Shadows.
remember that piece of shit?
I didn't know.
I have like 3 movies on Letterboxd that I give half stars to, and that's one of them.
Actually, he did Big Eyes before like the past couple of years, which is actually pretty interesting. It's not as weird. It's there's only like 1 or 2 weird things about it, and I think the main reason he did it was because the guys who wrote his Ed Wood script, and so he was kind of doing him a favor because they were going to direct it, and then it changed. But
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for anything at Hot Topic, I mean,
he owns the market there. Like this, it's his story. They just won't change the name to Tim Burton's Phantasmagorium Wonder Emporium.
but that's all right. If you like Tim Burton, my wife does. Hey, more power to you.
I just like that movie. He's done 3 that were pretty good. I thought.
No, I like the Batman movies.
Yeah.
I'm in the minority. I like Batman Returns more than the first Batman.
Yeah.
Fun and dark.
Dude, the first Batman.
But I mean, I like Ed Wood. I mean, my favorite Tim Burton movie is Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I love Big Fish, but I also like making fun of Albert Finney in that movie. I was drying out. Come here, Edward, bro. Oh, wait, that's my name.
It's all right.
And then the other thing is on Thursday, December 20th, is the next Emerging Filmmakers Project. So $5, come to the Buck Theater and watch 4 or 5 new Denver filmmakers make their mark.
Nice.
Do it. Cool. We have movie news in a segment I call Real News.
Movie news.
Nice. So, see, Brandon, in the old days, movie reels used to project film. So I call it Real News as REEL news. See how creative that is?
I like it. It's real news.
Well, we're gonna get. We have one death to get out of the way. Sandra Locke passed away. She was 74. She's best known for her
As Clint
collaboration.
Eastwood's girlfriend.
Well, and also an actress in some movies she was with. But actually, it's funny that you bring that up because something that's being brought back to light, which I kind of knew a little bit about, but now I'm learning more about it, is she has claims that he was an abusive asshole, and
Well, I can't see him doing that.
I can.
I'm just kidding.
Which sucks because I'm doing this analysis of his filmography, and I was telling Brad the whole journey the past 3 years trying to get this done has made me reevaluate my opinion on Clint to a degree. So it's important to not discredit her story and the books that she wrote, which is The Good, Bad, and the Very Ugly, which details her relationship with him. He flatly denies stuff, but he's got a reputation to protect. But she was also director, and she was an Oscar nominee for The Heart is a Lonely Hunter in 1968, which was a film she did opposite Alan Arkin. So she was an established actor and whatnot.
Absolutely.
It's just unfortunately the split with Clint and a palimony lawsuit that followed kind of damaged her career.
I want some palimony.
Oh,
you do.
Because it's more than likely that Clint sabotaged her career. Like, I won't deny that at all. But yeah, 74. Apparently she had died in early November, and it wasn't reported until this week. So that's
sad.
Disturbing about the whole thing. But yeah, she will be missed. I really like her in Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can. And
there's a monkey in that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, an ape.
Monkey's a funnier word.
I know, but ape. That's what everybody. When I love that movie, but I would talk about it, I'd say monkey, and I'd get corrected constantly, going like, "It's an ape, Zach," and I'm like, "Okay, sorry."
Look,
Jeez.
we understand it's orangutan.
Yeah,
I care that monkey sounds funny.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's fun to watch to say, "Hey, this monkey drinks this beer in this movie that one time." But yeah, 74. She will be missed.
Obviously not that much. Took him a month to report it.
Yeah, which is again, it's disturbing. On more, we're all going to hell. I'm going first though. I need to check out the real estate.
That's if you believe in that stuff.
I'm good. Do they believe in hell in Denmark?
They're not super.
It's called America.
It's called America.
Brandon walks down the street. Is like, it's El Diablo.
Does the devil from America? Do they have anything out there besides soccer? That's the only thing I can really point to. I'm like, their soccer team's really good.
Have you ever handball? They play handball.
Oh, handball, yeah.
Really? You've heard of it?
Yeah.
No way.
Jake Palmer used to play for the Broncos, the quarterback, is a professional handball player now.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
He lives in Colorado, and he put up like handball courts and everything. That's how much he loves it.
Huh. That's kind of crazy. And I think hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey.
Oh yeah.
Kind of cool.
But I know their national soccer team's really good.
Yeah, I think soccer's huge. I mean, that's like the global sport, I think.
Yep. Anyways, back to movie news.
So lighthearted news, and one that'll appeal to not hear James. Break out your tea and biscuits. We got a Downton Abbey trailer, which is not really a trailer so much as a series of establishing shots that show the outside of that manor. So, I still haven't seen this show, but I have the first 2 seasons because I found them at work. So I'm gonna watch it.
I'll recap it for you. Oh, we're gonna go Downton Abbey. There is lots of tea and cookies, but we call them biscuits because we're English. Look at the hedge maze over there. Oh, there's a murder. I don't know what it's really like. I'm just guessing.
Our master is rich. We're poor. Oh, here comes the middle class.
Those kind of stuff you really have to be into, the PBS like Masterpiece Theater shit.
You've got
I can't get into them,
and that's fine. It's definitely for an acquired taste.
My British stuff is like Spaced or Shaun of the Dead and stuff. I can't get into that.
It's interesting, but yeah, like I mean, not everything hits. Like there's some British stuff that I don't like, but there's a lot of British stuff that I like. So I'm kind of like
Spaced.
I love Spaced, Monty Python. I've never seen the IT Crowd, but I've been told it's good. Actually, there was one called Coupling that I enjoyed, which had.
I mean, the original Office is fun.
One of the bad guys from Pirates, like the one that Keira Knightley was going to marry.
I think
Evan Stone.
I think Friends is based on Coupling, so
kind of, yeah. But yeah, we got a trailer for that. We also got a trailer for a Brexit movie from HBO called Brexit.
Produced by John Oliver.
But it stars Benedict Cumberbatch as one of the guys who his name's Rory Kinnear. He was the Vote Leave campaign head, so that'll be interesting. I don't know. I know only the basic facts about Brexit, so maybe this film will shed some light on different intricacies of that whole situation. Let's see. We got some casting news that is really funny to me. Benicio del Toro is going to play Swiper the Fox in the Dora the Explorer movie.
That'd be sweet if there's a scene where he's sitting down at dinner with Dora and Backpack and Map, and then he's like, I wanted to steal stuff, and he didn't let it happen. and then it cuts to like an establishing shot, then it cuts back, and like Dora has a bullet in her head, Map is dead, and backpack. Anyone see Sicario? Is this on?
And then he puts down his gun and just goes, "Oh man."
Corinne didn't have time to send us a catching classics with Corinne, and so we're doing this thing. We're exchanging movies, and so I'll be giving her Sicario to see.
Yeah.
Which I love that movie, but it's like a tough sell to people. I'm like, hey, you want to be depressed for 2 hours?
Sicario.
There you go.
Sicario and its sequel are the reason why I'm not enthusiastic about seeing The Mule. So, because I'm like, this subject's handled better in 2 other movies.
Maybe I heard The Mule's good.
Yeah, I've heard it's fine. Paramount theme park. There's a Paramount theme park that's coming to South Korea, and it's going to have a Mission Impossible ride.
Nice.
Or more, it sounds like.
So you're attached to a plane that takes off.
Hang on.
You have to scale that Burj Khalifa.
It doesn't say much about it other than it's going to have attractions based on Paramount properties such as Mission Impossible. So
I'd totally go for a Star Trek ride.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you could do like a Soarin', but with Star Trek. Like, you're like on the deck of the Enterprise and you fly through and stuff. That'd be sweet.
Soarin'? What?
Well, Soarin' at Disneyland is like you fly through California.
Oh, it's like soaring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it like or like the Star Tours ride or
Yeah,
something like that, where it's
that'd
like a
be sweet.
simulated VR ride?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that'd be actually pretty neat if you could do it with Star Trek.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was Galaxy Fest. They had a bunch of computers set up, so it was like the Enterprise bridge. It didn't look like it, but it was just the same mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to like work together to like defeat the Klingons or whatever. And if they had the budget to make that look as it's supposed to be, like that'd be a cool ride.
I mean, the Discovery is pretty popular, so
yeah.
Moving on, Brad, did you watch the season finale trailer for Titans where Batman's in it?
I haven't watched the show at all.
Oh, you haven't? Well, apparently he's going to be in the season finale of it, and apparently he's a bad guy. All they show in the trailer is kind of like his shadow and stuff. So
He's a bad guy?
yeah.
Yeah. So
Did you remember the controversy of the trailer when Robin says, "Fuck Batman"?
Yeah, but I mean,
It's just I hate shows that are like, look how cool and dark we are. Batman is always going to be cooler than Robin. You can have Robin say "fuck," but Robin still wears little green Speedos and little elf shoes. He will never be as cool as Bruce Wayne.
I don't know if he'll be a bad guy. He's probably just like
No, they're
he's
like
probably that version of Batman where he's just like mean.
I was
'cause
reading
he's
that they're
so
comparing him to
motivated.
Jason Voorhees in it.
Really?
Yeah, like he's dark, brooding, and just kills people.
So he's like the Frank Miller Batman.
Yeah.
and he
Stupid.
drowned in a lake.
He watched his parents drown in a lake.
Kill her, Brucey. Kill her. I will. Last piece of serious news. Scott Derrickson's going to return for a Doctor Strange sequel, so
I
that's
know.
pretty neat.
I heard that they're talking about Satana being the villain in it, and that'd be awesome.
And it's all cool because like he lost his house in that fire recently, so I'm glad good things are happening for him.
Well, I'm not surprised. He's a cool dude. He's from the 303.
Yep, represent. Last piece of news. There was a scientific study that concluded that James Bond is a severe alcoholic. And my question is, did we need a scientific study to confirm that?
Yeah, that's like saying he's a womanizer.
Yeah, it's just like,
get it.
no shit, Sherlock.
Brandon, do they typically do scientific studies for imaginary things?
I have no idea how they conducted that study.
How do you get the funding for that? You like stand up like, hey, I need money to watch movies to see.
I have no idea.
See, that's where the money is, Brandon. You got to figure that out.
I need $200,000 to sit down and watch 20 movies back to back.
It's not in trying to figure out cancer.
Or it's
push that aside.
It's peer reviewed. I don't know how they'd peer review it. They're like, what do you guys think? Yeah, I think so.
I think he's an alcoholic.
Would that be funny if on yours you have, your published paper about genetic molecules and it's really thought out? Then
Yes.
that right next to it, some dude who's like, James Bond is an alcoholic.
Here's the stats. If the study found that James Bond at least sipped a drink, if not consumed the whole thing, 109 times throughout the 24 movies in the official franchise. Jeez, I've beaten him. And that makes for an average of 4.5 drinks/sips in each movie. And in Quantum of Solace, it was where they reached the peak because he had 24 units of alcohol in it. So this all is dumb and ridiculous. This is a waste of science's time. But I like this quote. There is strong and consistent evidence that James Bond has chronic alcohol consumption problem at the severe end of the spectrum. And that's when I put down the computer and beat my head against the brick wall.
I think the funny thing the internet's been doing this week is the Sonic the Hedgehog posters for everyone saying how horrifying they are.
That's more useful time than what this is. So, but anyway, unless I missed anything, that's news.
And cancer continues to go uncured.
That's the other thing. I don't get it. Here's another alcohol one for you guys. Then, let's figure out how much of a liver problem Homer Simpson has right now after 30 seasons.
Or brain damage.
Yeah, that's another one too. Does he still have his kidneys? I don't think so.
Last week when I was training with the new officer, she was working on a report. And I was like, it was 1 and we hadn't had lunch yet. So I just sent her a bunch of GIFs of Homer eating stuff. And she didn't get what I was asking. I sent her one of them eating donuts, one of them inhaling, it's maybe one of my favorite GIFs. It's like a cinnamon roll unwinding into his mouth.
Did you find the long sub sandwich that he
yeah.
stop eating?
Yep. And the forbidden donut. I sent them all to her. And she's like, oh, do you want to go get lunch? No, I'm sending you random Homer Simpson clips.
Anyway, that's news.
Awesome. Hey, what's coming out on Blu-ray and Ultra HD?
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Brandon's favorite movie of the year, The Predator.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, I hated it. They should do a scientific study.
You know,
of how
I'm going to
shitty
make that my
movie-
number one film. Speaking of which, Film Explosion is happening in 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. Send us your favorite films from 2018, and we will read them whilst we share ours with you.
Sweet.
Good job on the poster, as always, Brad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You encapsulated the best movie of the year.
Yeah. Well, I was torn because it could have been Black Panther.
Yeah.
But I didn't want
If
to
it works
whitewash Black Panther with our severely Caucasian podcast.
Hey, no one knows that Brandon's white.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, we've had Bree on our show.
A couple times, yeah.
What was the movie of the year?
Well, we do a top 10 list.
Cool.
And I mean, I think it's Infinity War right now.
Sweet.
But,
That was a good one.
that's awesome.
We got something coming out this week that might sweep that, though.
Yeah.
So,
But technically the highest grossing one is Black Panther domestically. So.
But Brad tries to base the parody poster off of what's the most popular movie or the one people are talking about the most.
Actually, last year I did Blade Runner 2049, which wasn't the most popular movie of the year, but it was...
It was a good movie.
it was
thought
notable.
really good.
Yeah.
I thought that one was excellent. The whole feel of the movie was pretty cool.
And then the year before was Suicide Squad, which I actually liked the way that design.
I picked that one because the tagline was awesome.
Yeah.
Worst podcast ever. Because it's normally worst heroes ever, but I changed it slightly. And then this one I didn't have to change it all. It's just where were you when the...
Where will you be when it ends?
When it ends, yeah. Which is where will you be when this podcast ends? For the year.
Anyway, though, on the Blu-ray and 4K front, yes, as previously mentioned, The Predator is coming to 4K. I can't tell if that's the Steelbook, but if that is, it looks pretty neat. If it's the skull
Predator,
shape,
the Predator skulls. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to confirm that was the one.
Oh, no, I think the regular art's pretty cool too. The thermal Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the target on his chest. Yeah.
And then, but also,
But the movie's shit.
The movie's horrible. Scientifically proven to be horrible.
I was like, it's all right.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I prefer it to the other big release, which is Venom.
But the steelbook for Venom's awesome. I'm like, do I really need this movie?
No, you
Then
don't.
I see the steelbook, I'm like, I might need this movie, but I don't think I do.
We've had talks about what you don't need to double dip or even buy, period, and I think this is an easy example.
I think so, too.
Just look into your son's eyes and think about college.
I did open a College Invest account for him.
I will say that scene where Tom Hardy eats all that food and then vomits in the toilet is the best short film about alcoholism I've ever seen.
I thought that the CGI Venom was pretty cool.
Venom looked cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was a little bit hokey with his voice. I mean, when he tries to be when they try to be funky, like hip funky.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of insane.
Yeah, and the ending where it's CGI fighting CGI is kind of meh.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that happens in almost every movie, but when it's two symbiotes and it doesn't look right, it's
the CGI fighting scenes. Period.
Yeah.
Every movie, it's movies are surrounded by CGI fighting scenes. Is that overdone, or am I just...
No, you're right.
No,
You're right.
but like some do it better than others. Like Avengers movies do it well because there's also kind of like a real life element going on in there somehow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The Venom one reminded me of Transformers, which I'm like, I can't tell which one is which right now.
Yeah,
and
no
it's bugging
kidding.
me.
There was too many, like, whatever those tentacles
Doesn't
are.
matter. It made almost $900 million.
Yeah,
so-
no kidding.
Yeah, so
So Venom is laughing all the way to the bank.
yeah.
That's maybe the worst song I've heard of the year. Eminem's Venom.
I don't know. Did he need money? I would have given him a couple bucks.
Yeah, that was only 2 months ago.
I know.
Nuts.
They pushed that one out fast.
Yeah.
Trying to capitalize before people realize it's a piece of shit.
Also, though, a movie that I believe we all enjoyed, if we all saw it, was A Simple Favor is coming to 4K and
I
Blu-ray,
love that movie.
which I'm glad it's coming to 4K because that movie pops visually,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
it's
cannot
awesome.
wait to see it. That was a movie that surprised the hell out of me. Moving on, though, we have some re-releases that are actually pretty significant. 2001: A Space Odyssey had a 4K restoration recently from Christopher Nolan, and that's being released this week.
I guess if I need to take a nap, I can buy that movie.
And then also the 4K restoration of Schindler's List is coming to 4K, and also
I guess
Blu-ray.
if I want to be depressed, I can watch that movie.
And then we're also getting some Shout Factory stuff. The collector's edition of Starman is coming out this
John
week.
Carpenter.
Yep. And
Remind me, what's that one about? I don't remember.
Jeff Bridges is Starman.
That's
I can't remember. I haven't watched it in a long time.
I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Because it is not the John Carpenter movie I go back to the most. That doesn't say it's bad. I just haven't gone back to it. And then also from Scream Factory, though, is Dracula Prince of Darkness, which is a fun Hammer horror entry. I kind of wish they'd get more of those, but
I love the Hammer horror names. Like I have Taste the Blood of Dracula.
Yeah, or like
the Satanic Rites of Dracula. Like I love those cheesy B movie titles.
There's like one like the Mummy Lives or something like that. There's like there's a couple Mummy ones where I'm like,
The
these
Hammer
are
Mummy
neat
is
looking.
pretty great.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. And then they have some good Frankenstein ones too. Hammer's great. They actually did that Woman in Black movie. That was like supposed to be their comeback thing, and I actually think it's really good.
I think so too.
I kind of wish it had taken off more. But also, Horror of Dracula is getting released through Archive Collection, so you can pick that up. And then also from Archive is The Seahawk, which is a Errol Flynn film that is really good. Actually, it's not like one of the most memorable ones he's done, but it's another swashbuckler. So if you've never seen an Errol Flynn movie, it actually might be a pretty decent entry point before you get to the classics. On the new front again, we have The House with the Clock in Its Walls on Blu-ray and 4K, which
fun.
Brian saw.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's fun. Like I have a huge crush on Cate Blanchett, so I'll pretty much see anything she's in.
Sweet.
And she looks great in that. She wears purple. Oh, I love that woman.
And then this is the second or third week in a row that I've seen that the Sunset Collection is putting out Deep Throat, so I don't know if that's actually being released, but if you guys want to watch the highest grossing porno ever made, go check that out. Assassination Nation is also getting a Blu-ray release only. Doesn't look like it's getting a 4K. And that looks like that's about it. Yeah. That's
You
all
all
I
right,
can say.
Brad?
Yes.
No. I thought you had like allergies.
Oh, that's not true. One more. Arrow Video is putting out Bloody Birthday, and the cover is a birthday cake that looks like red velvet with blood dripping down it, and a teddy bear with an arrow stuck in its eye.
Nice. Hey, Brad, where did you take that picture of the Walmart VHS section?
It was the Walmart on Arapahoe.
Because the Walmart here doesn't have them because they have like a horror film. I think it's Happy Birthday to Me. That's really hard to find.
I think I caught it at the tail end of the rollout because I was reading online that Mill Creek or whatever that does those, they had a deal with Walmart, and I think probably up until Black Friday. And so
Gotcha.
after Black Friday, now it's available like everywhere else. So
I keep on waiting for I've been saying this for years, the Last Action Hero special edition, because that cover was awesome. But I wish it had more like features.
But they did Happy Birthday to Me in that format? Ooh.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's
one
the
I still
guy
haven't
with
seen.
the
That's
skewer in his mouth.
Yeah, that's the reason I want to watch it. It's because that poster's so enticing.
I'm annoyed though because Walmart puts those stickers on the cover, so I tried to peel it off and I Goo-Goned it, and I did it so much that it started to scrub away the printing on the cover.
Which one did you get?
The Last Action Hero.
Oh, you got the Last Action Hero one.
Yeah.
Nice. But by doing that, though, to add to the aesthetic of it, it's like, oh.
That's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Delusion is fun.
It's weathered properly. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, that's Blu-rays and DVDs and 4Ks.
Awesome. We also watch movies throughout the week in a segment I call Movies That We Sit Down and Gather and Watch.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Long ass title.
Yeah, it's really just what we've been watching. Hey, Brandon, have you watched any movies?
Kind of. I'm trying to think of anything decent. Ex Machina? Was that a new one?
Ex Machina?
Ex Machina?
Yeah.
Dr. Hopkinson, everyone.
2 + 2 is 4. No, Ex Machina is awesome. It's one of my favorite movies.
I thought that
come
was
out
fantastic.
recently.
Like, I thought that was actually a good new movie.
Yeah.
Like, that was fantastic, I thought.
Alicia Vikander. Love that woman.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac dancing uncomfortably with a Japanese robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was 4 actors in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
That's
told, yeah.
crazy. What was the budget on that?
It's not that much. I think maybe 10, 12 million.
I think even
What
less
did they
than that.
make? That's a perfect movie in my opinion.
You might want to check the film that the director did after that, which is called Annihilation. It's really good.
Sweet.
It kind of fell under the radar because Paramount didn't know what to do with it.
I saw the preview. It's like I've seen the previews. The preview didn't look that good though.
It's like, it's hard to sell that film because it's heady sci-fi, kind of like Ex Machina,
Yeah.
but A24 put out Ex Machina, and they know how to actually cut a trailer for their films.
2014? Holy shit.
But Annihilation is actually so they did a limited release, or they did a release in the U.S., but everywhere else they just dropped it to Netflix. So actually, if you're in Copenhagen and you have Netflix there, you might actually have it somewhere.
That's where most of my movie knowledge comes from.
Watch it. I have it.
Sweet.
It was made for about $15 million,
And it made
and it grossed 38 worldwide.
only 38. That is nuts.
Well, it's that
$5
movie
million was the opening weekend.
is really good, but I think it has it's one of those movies that it's a hard sell too
It's smart.
because it's smart.
There'll be a cult following. I think that's
yeah.
going to be huge. That's like I don't know if it's like The Family Guy, but where it wasn't huge when it came out, and then it'll get big.
Yeah.
Although it's been 4 years, it should have been big by now.
It did win the Oscar for visual effects, so it'll definitely have like a point of like, go check this out because it won this year.
Or after, like, the robotics industries are going nuts. I bet you that's one of those ones that's like everybody will kind of go back to it. I mean, robotics now is going crazy.
Why did you decide to create the T-800? Well, I saw Ex Machina, and I was just like, I want to make these things real.
What else, Brandman?
God, I'm trying to think of, because when my girlfriend's out working, I try to watch like cool horror movies, like the low budget horror movies.
That we
I'm trying to
love.
think of any cool, like I can't think of any names of any ones.
So they're memorable.
Memorable. No, but those are fun. I mean, it would be fun if they made some more of those.
Yeah, that era of them being direct to video at Blockbuster kind of went away. Now it's cheap to. I'll talk about one cheap to Netflix or streaming
Or Shudder.
Or
Charlie Band's Full Moon streaming.
Hey, we got a lot of full moons in our day.
Full Moon is pretty good.
The fact that that's a streaming site now is amazing. Yes, so you can go there and you can purchase like premium packages on Charlie Band's website to interact with. The big testing ground for it was Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong.
And here's the thing: is like the Charles Band. Like, so when we watched him at Blockbuster, it'd be Subspecies,
Sweet,
or
Puppet
Castle
Master.
Freak, Puppet
Sweet,
Master,
sweet,
Demonic
sweet.
Toys.
Yeah.
Now they're just retarded.
Yeah, I mean, they know.
I'm sorry,
audience,
mentally
but-
handicapped. Thank you. I forgot we have a doctor in our house.
Yeah, but even some like the new ones that aren't like really, really just super gory. They just have cool stories to them. Are really kind of fun. But again, those kind of declined also.
Yeah, the thing with horror films is there's an audience for them, and so they can get made, and the budgets are never big.
Yeah.
And if you make a good horror film, then it'll last a long time. But there's got to get through a lot of mud to get to
the good ones
to the beach.
Yeah, but that's kind of what coming up with like a top 10.
I like that phrase. Put that one on a poster, Ryan. You gotta walk through a lot of mud to get to the beach.
Like the top 10. What I think is kind of crazy is the top 10 horror movies. They're like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to get like a list of horror movies that
Yeah.
most horror buffs would like.
I think it's because they're so diverse.
Yeah,
I mean,
gory and good stories.
When you ask me, I mean, I love like Friday the 13th,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's considered like lowbrow horror.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love Friday the 13th. Where something Zach loves Halloween, but I would argue that Friday the 13th is more consistent, and Halloween's kind of all over the place.
Oh yeah, Halloween's a mess. I will never deny that one.
But you have the pedigree of the first Halloween,
Yeah.
that will always trump whatever Friday the 13th did.
And I would actually argue the pedigree of that new one, but time will tell on that one. And actually, it's actually interesting because like now it's even more diverse because like now you have kind of like the social thriller kind of coming out, like
Yeah.
the Get Outs, your Hereditary stuff like that, like things that are kind of like
Hereditary's
trying to.
garbage.
Yeah.
We disagree on that, and that's fine.
The car accident was cool. I
Yeah,
thought.
but the rest of the movie's garbage,
That was like
right?
the peak, kind of. But the car accident
So
was cool.
let me ask you, Brandon, you've watched a lot of horror films like I
Yeah,
have.
yes.
Did you think Hereditary was at all scary?
No, not really. Like you weren't scared.
Did you just think it was
after.
like obnoxious? I thought it was obnoxious.
The part that she was like sawing her own head off was kind of cool. I thought that was like
Yeah.
so. Spoiler.
Sorry, spoilers, Brad.
I'll
Dude,
just
I'm
imagine
sorry.
It's
Or at
okay.
the end when they found out that
But it was all a dream.
it was all a dream.
I love that joke from The Simpsons. Wow, I can't believe Darth Vader was Luke's father.
My favorite part of Hereditary was when Toni Collette found out that Bruce Willis was a ghost all along. Oh wait, that's another Toni Collette movie.
I saw the
So
first 3 minutes of that movie.
Here's a problem I have with Hereditary is non-horror people think that that's what horror, like classy horror should be. And to me, it's just boring.
See, like, and I like horror films, but I won't. I disagree with their assessment of it. I think it's a fine, it's a fine kind of like religious cult thriller kind of like thing, like or a satanic cult thriller. What elevates it is the craftsmanship, but that doesn't necessarily make it like the best horror movie of the year.
It had a place. I think you're
Yeah.
exactly right.
It has
had
a place in the conversation, but it's definitely not the best.
Yeah.
No, like Quiet Place is way better.
I agree, actually.
This is horrible. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of this movie. But what's the one where it was 3 girls that went into a new house? It was 2 girls and then their mother, and 2 people broke into the house. A big guy and like a cross-dressing lady, and they, the mom killed the people who broke in. Anybody? Anybody?
Oh gosh.
It was.
It sounds like The
sweet
Strangers at
movie.
first, and I'm like, no, it's not
a
The
horror
Str-
movie.
It's a horror movie. Yeah, it was pretty new. I think pretty new by like the last 4 years.
Only
And then
home
it-
invasion things. I think it was like that breaking in.
It
or
was
Don't Breathe. It's not Don't Breathe, though.
Yeah.
It was the mom kills the 2 people, and then the girl goes on and becomes like a fantastic writer, and then the other daughter had like post-traumatic stress disorder, and then the writer came back. The sister, the writer, the novelist came back.
I've heard of this.
It was a really good movie. That was one where the ending was way different. I mean, so they kind of lead you along that story, and then at the end you find out that
Did you watch it on Netflix?
I think it was probably that's where I watch
I
everything.
want to check this out.
Yeah.
It was a really good
I'm
one.
going to type in Sister Rider.
What's fantastic is that I can never remember the name of movies.
So there's a
Give
great
me-
app. It's called Letterboxd. You
Yeah.
should download it, and you can review and rate movies, and it keeps track of the movies you watch. Because I watch so many movies now that I lose track.
Okay, give me 25 seconds. I'll find them.
Brad, what'd you watch this week?
Only one thing, surprisingly enough, and that was Once Upon a Deadpool,
Oh,
the PG-13 version of Deadpool.
Is it worth going back and watching it again?
Just for the Fred Savage Deadpool bits that go through the movie, because pretty much like they do the Princess Bride version of the movie, without all the language and gore. Without the gore, it feels oddly edited, and without the language and that removes a lot of story bits. It feels like the longest movie ever.
Really?
At one point, I was like, "Oh yeah, Cable's in this movie," because he hadn't shown up for about what felt like an hour. But like I said, the Fred Savage Deadpool interaction banter stuff is really funny, and oddly enough, it's the second movie this week with like a big Stan Lee tribute at the end, and then in the middle of the movie, that graffiti wall.
Yeah.
That shot. They actually put R.I.P. on the wall.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wasn't that only like 3 weeks ago? Like, so they motion tracked and painted that on there?
I guess that's your only job.
Yeah, that's pretty quick though, I think. So yeah, I think it's worth a watch because the new stuff is good. But watching the movie with I don't know. It might feel different if you hadn't seen the movie at all before. But as someone who knows what I'm missing, it feels real. Like the pacing is what suffers. It just feels like it just drags so hard.
I can see that because it relies so much on, I guess, not necessarily like the raunchiness, but the meta humor that is included with it.
Yeah,
and
I want to check it out just to see if my favorite joke in there is still in there because I would assume it is. But also just to kind of see the differences and the edit you're describing. So
if you tell me what your favorite joke is, I can tell you.
It's where Deadpool sneaks in to grab the cocaine from Blind Al's house, and then the radio show's playing of the guy that I like.
I didn't remember the radio part, but they switched the cocaine to just sugar.
Oh, really?
So it's the same shot, but he opens up the plank, and then the tape just says sugar instead of cocaine.
Yeah, the whole joke is that she's listening to a classic radio bit, and Deadpool plays the line.
Because I guess they couldn't show him like blowing up. So
yeah, they show it one time because it's the first thing that happens in the movie, and then it's replayed later in the R version. And this time it's the second time. So that whole opening. With him blowing up with the monologue, that's replaced by him and Fred Savage.
Gotcha.
Who's been kidnapped and taped to the bed without his pants on. Yeah.
And
as you wish.
I found the movie titled "Incident in a Ghost Land." You guys haven't seen that?
No,
I've never heard of it.
It was. I thought it was really, really good. It was like a new idea. Not a new idea.
Incident in a Ghost Land. I'll watch it.
I
Better
thought
be
it was
good.
pretty good.
I'm going to fly to Copenhagen.
Kick my ass. Yeah. Who is it?
Wilderness goose.
A little late to be selling cookies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Troop leader says we're not meeting like we would.
The other great thing about the Fred Savage bits is that Fred Savage is there to call out like what doesn't make sense in Deadpool's movie.
That's awesome.
So like the part he talks about when Vanessa dies, he goes like, "Oh, you fridged the girl?" He's like, "What's that? What's this thing in comics where they, the lazy thing that comics writers do to give the hero motivation?" And Deadpool's just like, "We're just gonna continue now." What's another one? God, there's so many good ones. But yeah, he mostly serves to just kind of call out the movie where it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Oh, the time travel stuff. Like, oh, you made a joke about it being lazy writing to hide the fact that it's lazy writing. It's like, zip it, Savage.
So Fred Savage is being savage.
Yeah. So that's all I watched this week.
Zach?
Watched a couple things. So I went to the theater to go watch the 4K restoration of Schindler's List. I didn't go to Dolby Atmos, though, which kind of sucks because that's part of the reason why I wanted to see this restoration, but I couldn't make it out there. But I was the only one in the theater, which was not surprising. It's not a movie necessarily you want to watch at noon in the afternoon.
Hey, everybody, let's go get on the bus and go see Schindler's List.
Does this guy know how to party or what?
I haven't seen this many ribs since Tony Roma's.
Who'd you see that from?
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, that's right, Oswald, yeah. But no, yeah, the movie's still great. I mean, obviously it's... Dude. Oh, boy. Yeah, but no, I mean, and we've talked about it obviously a lot this year because of my dumb placement of Saving Private Ryan on my list. But, like, I have a hard time deciding what is the best Spielberg movie or what's my favorite sometimes. Schindler's List is definitely in the top 3 or even if it's not my favorite, it will easily be one of the most important films he's ever made.
Yeah.
And it still holds up. It still works really well. That 4K restoration looks amazing. The only shot that looks like 4K doesn't do anything much for it is one exterior wide establishing shot of Itzhak Stern and the rest of the workers outside of the factory before the Russian soldier comes up and says you've been liberated. It looks as if though it's like a piece of film that just didn't translate well to the restoration process. The rest of it looks stunning. It looks like it was shot yesterday. I mean, I love Liam Neeson in that film. I still think that if it's not for Son of a Woman or something like that, that's a film that or not Son of a Woman, but whoever won that year, Schindler's List probably should have won that year for Best Actor because Liam Neeson's doing a lot of great stuff in it.
Patient, was it?
No, 93. It's something else. I can't remember what it is. But Ralph Fiennes also, I forgot how terrifying he is in that fucking movie. Like, he's disturbing as all heck. And Ben Kingsley, I had a different reappreciation for him in this film because he's having to play something very subtle. And but yeah, and it was a good watch actually. I had a good cry, and since I was the only one in the theater, I was kind of allowed to like bawl without feeling like I need to quiet it down.
You should probably still quiet it down.
Yeah.
The projectionist, shut up!
Joke's on you. Joke's on you. There's no more projectionists because it's all digital.
Trying to jerk off up here.
That's when I'd be like, okay, I'm leaving now. Bye. But yeah, no, it's really good. So if it's any indication, you should probably pick up that 4K restoration, the 4K disc, because it looked really good. I continued the Gauntlet. I'm only 2 episodes away from finishing it. But the one that I really liked was The Day the Time Ended, which is a Charlie Band film, an early Charlie Band film. And it's basically like people living out in an adobe hut out in the middle of the desert, and suddenly aliens from another dimension or some kind of cosmic storm.
Usually what happens.
Nothing's very clear, but like the little girl in the house is like friends with the aliens, so only she can stop them. Like, it's full of insanity, but like it's pretty fun. They do a lot of Star Wars jokes and stuff like that in it, which is pretty neat. But I also I think I now know what Brad was talking about when he nearly spoiled that ending for me, which I'm like, oh, this is what they're going to do. But I'll continue it to see if it actually comes to fruition. But if my prediction's correct, something's going to be fun in the next batch of episodes we get. I watched a documentary on the Birmingham, Alabama church bombings called 4 Little Girls. It's an early Spike Lee documentary, and I hadn't seen it in a long time.
Are you okay, Zach?
Yeah.
You watched Schindler's List this week?
It's going to be okay, buddy.
Be okay.
Well, Schindler's List was because it was in the theater. This one was because I've been reevaluating. I've always loved Spike Lee, but I'm reevaluating some stuff that I hadn't really given a second watch. And this is, he's a great documentarian too. This one in particular is a hard hitting film, and it actually led to the arrest of the 3 other people who were involved in that bombing, who ended up dying in prison, thank God. But it also, for how sad it is, though, there's one moment in that film that's very awkward, and Spike Lee talks about it in an interview. He had to interview George Wallace, who was the governor of Alabama, and, a complete and utter shitheel. Yeah. And at this time, apparently, he was trying to, refurbish or repolish his tale and history and stuff like that, rewrite his story. And he's going who says I don't like black people? I love black people. I have a black friend right here. And it's his nurse who takes care of him. And Spike Lee geniusly points the camera up to this black man who's his nurse. And George Wallace is going this is my best friend. We do everything together. And that man looks like a deer in headlights going help me. Help me. And he talks about it in the interviews. It's you get a look of between the two of them going I'm so sorry that this is the most awkward thing you've ever probably been a part of. So, but it's a great documentary. It's on Prime now, so if you want to check it out, you can. And actually, listening to you talk about the Katrina thing, the next thing on my list is his documentary When the Levees Broke, which was a 4-part HBO thing that I remember seeing, but I don't remember if I watched the whole thing. So
I didn't have to watch a documentary. I lived it.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, no.
And by lived it, Brandon listened to the warnings and left.
We evacuated to the gorgeous compound in Mississippi, like a resort compound in Mississippi.
Wow.
I wonder what they're doing in New Orleans.
And then, like I said, I'm continuing the Clint Eastwood analysis. I'm almost done with this, guys. And as I said, my opinion is changing over the course of the past 3 years that I've attempted to get this done. But I continued it by finishing up 2 genres that didn't get tackled. One was Heartbreak Ridge, which I've already talked about on this show before. But the other one was Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, which is Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges together in a kind of a road trip / heist movie. The director of it is the guy who did The Deer Hunter, Michael Cimino, and he also did Heaven's Gate, which is
How's he doing?
Not good. I mean, you would know. He got kicked out of Hollywood.
Isn't he dead?
I think he's dead. Yeah. But...
That was the joke.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you meant heaven. I thought you meant Heaven's Gate. So like,
Siri, is Michael Cimino dead?
See, this is how I'll tell you how much I know about Michael Cimino. I don't know if he's dead or not. I'm pretty sure he is, but yeah, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot was his first film.
He's fucking dead.
He is dead. July 2nd, 2016.
Yes. Oh, right on.
Not
right on.
Shout out.
But yeah, no. This film though, it's a weird commentary on camaraderie amongst men and like male bonding. And it all centers around like Clint Eastwood's a guy who's on the run from the gang that he used to rob banks with because they think he ratted him out. And he encounters Lightfoot, played by Jeff Bridges, who's like this wandering hippie kid. And they go on little adventures together before they decide to rob another bank in the same town where the original money was supposed to be. And it's very interesting how mature it is, and Clint's very good in it. Like, it's one of the more subtle things he's done in a movie in terms of acting. And it's shot beautifully. Like, I kind of wish this one was on Blu-ray readily available and not in like a big collector set that I have to buy, because I'd watch just this one alone. But yeah, and Jeff Bridges is great in it. Another George Kennedy performance, and he's really good in it. He's actually he's the ultimate villain in the film, and he's menacing as all fuck. Jeffrey Lewis, who was a mainstay with Clint's crew, is in it, and he's kind of like off to the side, but even through that, you can tell why he was a fun character actor that Clint clearly liked working with. So, but it's definitely one of the better ones that I've seen in terms of his acting. So it's definitely probably going to end up on that top 10 of when I evaluate writer or actor director in both. So, but yeah, I'm going to get onto the westerns this week and go see The Mule so I can finish this sucker up and go on to another subject, one that's happier and not filled with growling and swelling.
Yeah, I'm doing like 2 right now. I'm doing the favorite Blu-rays of this year and the Scream Factory stuff. I haven't done Scream Factory because I've been going back and watching like my favorite Blu-rays.
Yeah, I mean, like mine should have been done a long time ago. It's not even out of laziness. It's just like I can't. I love Clint Eastwood movies, but I can't watch them like back to back to back to back as I thought I could, because there's like 9,000 of them. So,
do you guys have favorite movies?
Yeah.
For example.
I'll give you. You can guess my favorite movie.
Jason.
Oh, jeez, not my friend.
Best friends.
No. Hold on. Give me a second to think about it.
Army of Darkness is my favorite.
Army
movie
of Darkness.
Of all time.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Mine's the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, dude, that one was awesome.
Right?
Absolutely awesome. I think that one was a little underrated.
Oh, totally.
Do you remember the Pizza Hut commercial in that?
Of course.
Way off in the distance, the game's dragging on.
There's strikes on the batter.
Some runners are on. When sudden, okay.
Everyone's looking at me.
That's crazy.
They point to the sky, and I'm
look
what
up
could
above.
it be? Wait.
I
I look to the sky and I look up above, and a baseball falls into my glove. Take it, Brandon.
Why is that? That I play right field.
It's important to know.
You gotta know how to catch. You gotta know how to throw. That's why I play right field. Where the dandelions grow. As a proud sponsor of the.
Let's talk about the Warner Brothers ball cap.
Oh yeah, you can't watch a Warner Brothers movie without a Warner
Brothers ball cap.
That's crazy though. Like that's.
Watch that tape so much.
That's embedded into your memory.
See, Zach is 10 years younger than us, so he doesn't remember that stuff.
I've seen the movie. I don't remember it as eloquently as you three do.
No, that wasn't even the movie. That was a commercial before the movie.
Then that would definitely explain why I don't remember it.
It's on VHS, so you can't just skip it.
Well, we had that VHS, but I don't remember this at all. Also, I've been doing this show for a while with these guys now, and I've also just been a nerd in general. That was the nerdiest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, you know, I
don't think anybody can top
that. Like old comic books from like the late 80s, early 90s, and I forgot like how much Pizza Hut gave you like cool stuff. There's this X-Men pack where you got like an X-Men movie, X-Men trading cards.
Book It. Do you remember Book It?
That's the thing I remember. But they like stopped doing it when I got like in 9th or
don't
8
remember.
8 or 9 years old.
I think they still do it. It's just not like as cool as what they did.
It's not
they
when
don't
you're
do
in
the
ninth
pin
grade?
and stuff, yeah.
No, not ninth grade, 9 years old. I misspoke. I still needed help reading in ninth grade.
In grad school, I was like, I read the entire book cover to cover. Where's my mini pizza? Where's my mini pizza?
The novel I
pizza and a stuffed crust.
The novel I chose to address was Fun with Dick and Jane. Now give me my pan pizza.
They did that whole tie-in with the Ninja Turtles concert tour. So you got the cassette tape.
I kind of remember
yeah.
that. Ninja Rap was,
That's
Teenage
No.
Mutant Ninja Turtles
2.
That's from the second one, but for the first one, yeah, they had the whole the Turtle Band tour, even Radio City Music Hall.
That's my favorite part of that
At
documentary.
Pizza Hut, you could get the mask, the paper mask out of the box. You
Yeah.
cut it out of the box, and then you also get
The
the
grease stains on
Yeah.
it. I
The
totally
grease
remember that.
And then there's a cassette tape. Yeah.
You said that when we sang that was the nerdiest thing you've ever heard. I bet you I could top that. Partners in Crime, Turtle Power came
Yeah.
on when I was in the shower, and I was rocking out. That was last week. That was last week.
Wait, it just came on?
It was I put it on. It was on my '80s playlist.
Brad's like, wait a minute, it just doesn't come on.
You got to initiate that shit yourself.
So I'm gonna revise my statement. That's the nerdiest thing, but it's also the most admirable because when I just listen to Jack Benny records, it's just the saddest thing.
It was that one, and then Heart. What did Heart sing? Some Heart song. My '80s mix is awesome, by the way.
But yeah, no, I mean theirs are very pop culture oriented. My favorite's Jackie Brown, Quentin Tarantino's third film.
Sweet.
But yeah, it's fun. I know it's not as exciting as Turtle Power.
That's your favorite movie?
No, yeah, Jackie Brown. Oh yeah,
Okay, cool.
I've talked
Probably
about
Quentin Tarantino's worst movie, so that's good.
excuse me, most underrated film.
I
you
haven't
mean.
seen it.
It's good. It's on Netflix, I believe. Still,
I know. I always tell people, I'm like, you can't really judge people's favorite films because mine is literally one that has gaping plot holes, doesn't make any sense, but is still hell of a fun.
Mine's 2.5 hours long and is definitely dealing with middle age, which is nothing that I should necessarily be appealed to, but I really enjoy that film.
I always get scared when people say, watch my favorite movie, because I'm like, how can I be objective about this and watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
But I understand people don't like Army of Darkness. They're wrong, but...
I'll tell you right now, though, I've been thinking about, because, Radio Days was on my top 10, but I can't stand that director anymore, and I don't want to give it any form of credence, so I'm looking for a new number 10 now. And I think I've almost found it, but...
Yeah, that'd be number 10 of them would be hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Top 3 wouldn't be.
No, I mean, so, favorite horror film is Night of the Living Dead. I'm better at, genres.
Yeah.
Because I don't include Army of Darkness into horror, even though it's lumped into horror.
Yeah. Comedy?
I think it's more of a sorcery comedy kind of thing.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, there's horrific things in it, but I mean, I love Night of the Living Dead, the original. The first Spider-Man, even though I think Spider-Man movies are better, but it'll never replace me driving to Outback and doing the books, and the line for Spider-Man went all around Denver West and over to Qdoba. I was like, man, Spider-Man's going to be huge. And then I love Pinocchio. So
yeah, my top 5 actually run into different genres. Number 1 is Jackie Brown, which is my favorite crime movie. To Be or Not to Be is my favorite comedy. Zodiac's my favorite drama. Casablanca's my favorite romance, and Halloween's my favorite horror. So it kind of runs the gamut.
Yeah.
So
that's not bad.
And the producers is just there because Mel Brooks.
What about you, Bradley?
What's
top 3?
Top 3 never changes. Ninja Turtles 1, Batman 89.
Cool.
And then the third one is it does kind of change, but it's always Back to the Future or Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
1.21 gigawatts.
That's a gigawatt. You'll know something trivia about Back to the Future. That and Teen Wolf were the number 1 and 2 movies at the same time. So Michael J. Fox was
he ruled
king of the world.
He ruled the world. Not even king. He just ruled the world. He didn't need a title. He just did it.
Did you watch anything else, Zach?
No, that's it. Sorry.
I only watched 2 things. Well, actually, one was from last week. I forgot to mention. I watched the Some Like It Hot Criterion. And
did it look good?
Oh, they redid, they did a 4K restoration on it, and it's amazing. And I haven't seen it in a while, and I don't remember, the jokes are super risque.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, it ends with, so I don't know if you've ever seen Something Like It Hot, Brandon.
With the Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah.
Kind of.
So in the story, Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon play musicians that are playing in a speakeasy, and the feds raid it, and then they run away, and then they witness like a St. Valentine's Day style massacre. And the only way they can get out of town is pretending that they're women in an all-women's band, and then they go down to Florida to escape. And so then Marilyn Monroe's there, and like she's in her sultry best, and she's really funny in it. Jack Lemmon is amazing throughout the whole film. Tony Curtis is really good. And throughout the course, Jack Lemmon has dressed up. This old dude is in love with her. And so he gets engaged to the old dude. And then at the end of the movie, they're driving away on the boat. And Jack Lemmon's son is like, no, it'll never work. It'll never work. And he's saying all these other stuff. And then he says, because I'm a man. And he takes off the wig. And the last line in the movie it says, can't be perfect. And so it's funny. And the movie's great. The special features are awesome. There's a lot of them. There's an actual interview with Marilyn Monroe, which there's not very many of them.
She didn't. And, well, it's funny not to bring it to my favorite comedian of all time, but she didn't do a lot of TV either.
No.
One of the few things she did was Jack's program, and it's like a gag where she's on a cruise ship and she's in love with him, but it's a mirage. It's fun.
Yeah. So it's really good. They have an interview with the director
Billy Wilder.
Yeah. And it's the Dick Cavett show. And it's,
I love Dick Cavett.
Yeah. So it's about an hour and a half, and it was really good. And I mean, he escaped Germany before World War II.
Yep.
So it's a really, I mean, to get it for the restoration of the film and just to have that interview is worth the price. I don't know if they still have the half off at Barnes & Noble. But
if they don't, it'd be worth me getting it alone.
I picked it up for like $17.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty great.
He's got a couple on Criterion. Like he's also got Ace in the Hole, which if you look at Billy Wilder's filmography, like he is vastly eclectic. Like he's got a couple different genres running around. They usually all have humor in them, but like Ace in the Hole is a dark movie for the period, and Something Like It Hot definitely is like pushing boundaries for its moment.
It's a great movie.
And it also reminds you that Marilyn Monroe's more than just a poster. Like she was a talented woman, just unfortunately very distraught human being. But like if you see The Misfits, her last movie before she died, like she's great in it.
Well, you know, Wilder talks in his interview about the difficulties of working with her, and it's fascinating. Like she was always late to set. You know, she was always on painkillers.
Yeah, popped pills like a mofo, man.
But you know, when she wanted to turn it on, she could turn it on.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's a great film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's one of the greatest comedies of all time. What else can you say? And the only other thing I watched Leprechaun Returns, which is the new Leprechaun movie, and it was not good.
That sucked.
Yeah,
and also, thanks for inviting me.
Well, it was at 10 o'clock on Monday, and I'm like, I can watch Leprechaun Returns.
Yeah,
and
never mind.
I want my money back.
And I want my money.
I had like this credit on Amazon Video, so I got $2 off on it, and it was $3.99, and it's still. So, in it takes place immediately. It's kind of like Halloween, where they ignore all the sequels. It takes place 25 years after the original.
But since you don't like it, it's more like Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yes. So, in it, the dude who plays Ozzy is still around, and he takes this girl, Lila, that's her name, is the Jennifer Aniston character's daughter. She was left the house.
Jennifer Aniston was in the first one?
Yeah.
Holy crap. I totally
movie.
forgot.
And she doesn't want you to remember it.
Yeah. So good on you. You're
Sorry,
doing Jennifer Aniston a favor. So it's a sci-fi movie, which whatever. So Sci-Fi Channel.
So is the leprechaun from space in this one?
No. And it just, so I know this is a Leprechaun movie now. I understand what I'm about to say is going to sound really stupid, but it doesn't make sense.
Say what?
So in it, if you flash back to the original Leprechaun, the Leprechaun gets a 4-leaf clover slingshotted down his throat, and he falls into the well.
Like you do.
Yeah, like you do. And so that dude Ozzy drops off Jennifer Aniston's daughter, and he walks over to the well because he can hear, me gold, or whatever. And he looks down, and then this green stuff like blows up in his face. And he drives away. He's like, I don't feel so good. And he pulls over, and the leprechaun like bursts out of his insides.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, so like the gore is cool, but I don't understand how the leprechaun went from like green goo into him. And
So the guys that made the Leprechaun movie were like,
so he's like in the bottom, like.
It's Leprechaun magic. It doesn't need to make sense, I guess.
So the Leprechaun busts out and he kills people, and even the characters in it. I know it's a horror film, but like sometimes characters are really dumb in them. There's one dude gets his head decapitated by a drone that the Leprechaun's able to control, and so he puts his like head against a tree. He's like, "No, no!" And the drone's like slowly flying in. And I don't know if it's supposed to be funny because why doesn't the dude just move?
I hate it when they do that.
I don't envy the dude who has to take Warwick Davis's place because
so he is not in it.
Yeah,
which I guess he wouldn't be.
He did an interview. He said he liked the character, but he has kids now. He doesn't want to do horror. That's fine.
That's fine.
So trying to live up to that is hard because the one thing I will say about the Leprechaun movies is Warwick Davis gave his all in it, and he had this charm about it where he was killing people, but his limericks were funny. Yeah. And this guy is just there. And it could be a product of the writing, but I mean the other Leprechaun movies aren't masterpieces. I think it's also the dude who's performing.
Yeah.
The gore is okay, and then like Ozzy comes back as a ghost, but they never explain how he's a ghost and helping the people. These sorority girls are trying to make the house go green. It's really dumb, and it doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, I wouldn't see it. And I was disappointed. I was actually disappointed. Like, this has to be fun, right? I want me gold. I want me gold. And it just nope.
All right,
not happening.
Never mind. Viewing party canceled.
I'd wait until it's on Shudder or something. And,
thank you for telling me that.
Yeah. So yeah, Leprechaun Returns.
That was so good. Do you know what movie I bought? Was Night of the Creeps. Do you remember that?
I love
one?
Night of the
God, that
Creeps.
was such a cool movie.
It's a great movie.
Talk about not making any sense though.
No. But
They
that
had,
one,
like,
but that one
space
plays
creatures.
on the like 1950s aesthetic. And,
That makes more sense than what he's describing.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Leprechaun.
Like because I understand the Leprechaun doesn't have rules,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make sense why, like how he comes back doesn't make sense. Why he waited so long to come back doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why there's a ghost in it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So the rules are all fucked up, and I get that every Leprechaun movie is different and they don't follow rules, but at least they would still be, when he's in Vegas, he goes, "A leprechaun doesn't like iron," and then you're like, "Oh, he can't touch wrought iron."
Yeah.
This is like, no, nothing.
We just like the fact that we have an IP that we can exploit.
Exactly. I mean, it's cool that they went back to because they did try to reboot it as Leprechaun Origins, where it wasn't like, "Woohoo, I'm a leprechaun." It was like this. Monster that would like rip people apart, but I don't know. And for those listening at home, I actually took off my hat and went, "Woo!" Yep, that's what I watched this week.
Woohoo!
Yeah. This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Brad, should people see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Did your kid just die?
No, he's just throwing a box around.
Okay.
Careful, bud.
Yeah, this movie's pretty amazing. The animation alone is like worth the watch, and the story. I don't know. This is one of the best Spider-Man movies I've ever seen. I thought it'd be a mess with all the time travel and different universes, and it totally works. It's great. So definitely go see it.
Zach?
Yeah, absolutely go see it. I'm still trying to debate in my head how I would rank Spider-Man films overall, because like Homecoming really impressed me, and I still appreciate that first one, if nothing else, for Willem Dafoe. But this one, though...
Out, am I?
Avenge me!
That's the second one.
No joke, that was one of my favorite Instagram posts I did this week, where he's just like doing an interview, and I was just like, he's really saying inside, "Avenge me!" But yeah, Into the Spider-Verse is very... I want to say like unique in its approach to... One, how to do Spider-Man, but two, how to do a comic book movie in general, and definitely salutes the art style of graphic novels or just comic books in general. I think that I think what's amazing about it is like I did not know the Miles Morales story, and I actually it makes me want a live action Miles Morales movie in a big bad way, because I do like that origin. Like, it's got a dynamic to it, but I like that it also does not. One of the big things I like is that it doesn't like try to. It doesn't seem like it ham-fists itself. Like, it has a good sense of humor about it. It knows it's playing with the multiverse kind of thing. And I think Nicolas Cage is proving time and time again that he's some of the best parts of some really recent movies. So yeah, I would go check it out. I was very impressed by it.
Yeah, I mean, the animation style alone makes it fun because there's so many movies, computer-generated movies now that not necessarily look the same but have the same feel to them. And this one really embraces the comic book aesthetic.
Yeah.
Whether it's thought balloons, whether it's dialogue boxes. The movie's really awesome. It's not quite the Miles Morales story from the comics, so they tweaked that a lot.
Okay.
It does still...
See, I'd say I didn't know that.
I'll get to spoilers later, but... yeah, you know, this movie is great, and it's really fun, and it takes a really fun. That you're right, it can be convoluted with the multiverse and everything that's happening, but they did a really good job with it, and I think getting the character of Miles Morales right is the most important thing because you're introducing him. Everybody knows who Peter Parker is. You're introducing a character that maybe not everyone's familiar with, that should be honor the role of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think it was really well done. Here's a trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
My name is Peter Parker. I'm pretty sure you know the rest. I saved the city, fell in love, then I saved the city again and again and again. Look, I'm a comic book, a cereal, I did a Christmas album, and a so-so popsicle. But this isn't about me. Not anymore.
Spider-Man swings in once a day, zip-zap-zop in his little mask and answers to no one. I love you, Miles.
Yeah, I know that.
You gotta say I love you back.
Dad, are you serious?
I want to hear it.
Look at this place.
Dad, I love you.
Dad, I love you.
That's a copy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
my name is Miles Morales. I'm the one and only Spider-Man. At least that's what I thought.
You ever hear of the Super Collider? You're gonna love this.
Dimension opening now.
You're like me.
That's impossible.
All right, kid, listen up. This fry is your universe. It's soggy, it's weird, it's gross. And this delicious normal fry is my universe. So you want to learn to be Spider-Man.
Can you teach me?
Yes, I can. Time to swing. Good, you're doing it. Double tap to release and whip it out again.
Okay.
Whip and release. You're a natural. Whip.
Hey guys,
Who are you?
I'm Gwen Stacy. I'm from another dimension.
How many more spider people are there?
Hey, fellas.
Hello.
This could literally not get any weirder.
it can get weirder.
Okay. We need to get back to our universes soon.
Brooklyn is gonna collapse. My family lives in Brooklyn.
Whoa.
Miles, what's wrong?
This was never your city. It's mine.
If I don't destroy the collider, none of us will have a home to go home to.
Remember, what makes you different
Let's go!
is what makes you Spider-Man.
Officer, I love you.
Wait, what?
That way. Other way.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
Spider-Man and Spider-Verse stars a half black, half Puerto Rican kid named Miles Morales, who is really smart, and he goes to an advanced school.
Yeah.
But he just wants to be a normal kid. He meets up with his Uncle Aaron, and he gets bit by a radioactive spider, which gives him the powers of Spider-Man. And while he does that, there's also a Peter Parker in the world.
Well, not sort of the powers of Spider-Man, because I don't remember Spider-Man being able to electrocute things. And
So
invisible.
yeah, that's from the comics. He has like a venom stinger and is able to turn invisible. So basically, in the comics, and I guess to kind of touch on it, the spider is genetically altered to basically take the best of everything. So
the lab that was doing the
Alchemax,
universe,
yeah.
made that spider.
Yeah,
and it was just like on the loose because whatever.
Yes, because in the original version, he gets his Uncle Aaron steals stuff from Oscorp, is the original thing in Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
But here he's working for
so it's
Alchemax or whatever.
Yeah, they tweak it a little bit, and that's fine. You know, I always have a problem too. Like, I hate that they make the Green Goblin like the monster. Like I just miss like a normal Green Goblin.
That was the one thing that like it didn't weird me out, but I was just like, I guess that's a choice.
But that's from Ultimate Spider-Man. And he Norman Osborn injects himself with the stuff that made Spider-Man, and it turns him into that.
But yeah, and I guess like the disclaimer on this is like, as I've said before in the past, and I'll say again, I'm not the world's biggest Spider-Man fan, so I don't know every single thing about what's happened.
And you don't need it. I mean, they do a good job of condensing the story.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, his uncle, as you find out too, is the Prowler, which he is in the comics too.
And which is the element that intrigued me the most, which is like, it's not a flip on the uncle thing, but it's like
it's a different take on it.
Yeah, it's a different take on it, and also the fact that he does still have his parents.
Yeah.
When all is said and done, so like it's a different approach to like, okay, well, he's not necessarily entrenched in like severe drama other than his uncle's death, but he still has his parents. So like the drama in there is also connecting with his father, who's a police officer.
Yeah, I mean, they tweaked his story. In Ultimate Spider-Man, he witnesses Peter Parker is killed by the Green Goblin in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Right, and thus passing the torch.
In this one, he kind of is, and then the Kingpin kills him. And so then he finds out there's more than one Spider-Man universe with Spider-Gwen, and then Peter Parker shows up. Spider-Ham, Penny Parker shows up, and Spider-Man Noir, which has maybe my favorite. So each character in it has like little comic book introduction.
Right.
And my favorite line in it is, "Sometimes I hold a match and let it go down and burn my fingers just so I can feel something." It's like maybe the greatest line in the movie.
Yeah. That one and so Spider-Ham is something that I was looking forward to, and thankfully it paid off in stride thanks to John Mulaney.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
But the fact that when Spider-Ham has to go back to his universe near the end, they make a Looney Tunes joke. They ask, can he do that? And then he just gets ascended and floats into the air like an angel going up to heaven.
And he says, "That's all, folks."
Yeah,
and he just goes away.
It's really funny.
It was really great. The movie is really fun. I think Brad's right. It's one of the best Spider-Man movies for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I only had, and I told you this about the movie, I only have one slight issue with it, and I don't like Spider-Man Peter Parker character that gives up.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it works well in the movie. I understand that. But, you know, he let himself go. He's depressed. To me, that's not Peter Parker. And so that's my one issue with the whole film is, like, he wouldn't give up.
Well, that universe's one did.
Yeah, he did. And that's fine. And it works for the movie because when he doesn't want to help Miles and then he realizes he should help Miles, because there's also a line that actually cried in it. Like he said, "I can't live with another Spider-Man dying." And he says, "Neither can I."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And Jake Johnson does a great job as Peter Parker in that
because I was
role.
worried about that too. I'm like, really, Jake Johnson? I don't know if I'm going to buy him. And his Peter Parker was great.
And it does a great job of explaining his position in terms of like, well, one, his relationship with MJ, but also just like how he's behaving in that universe prior to the sucking into the other universe.
You know, I was surprised in a couple of ones, like the Lady Doc Ock. I was surprised, like that came out of kind of nowhere.
That was really cool, to be honest.
Tombstone makes an appearance in it, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the gray face guy?
Yeah,
okay.
He's and the Kingpin's henchman.
I keep thinking, thought he was like Solomon Grundy, but like
he kind of looks like him. Yeah. In the comics, he's just like basically has skin that can't be penetrated. That's where he gets the name Tombstone. And he was made fun of because he's an African-American albino. So his skin, he's like bulletproof and really tough. So it's cool to see Tombstone in there. And, you know, there's some, when they break into Alchemex, or where do they go? The Kingpins, whatever. And
Chemex or something like that?
Yeah, there's a great shot where Miles is trying to learn to be Spider-Man and Peter Parker, like, rubs his chin and then Miles is mimicking him. I think it's great.
And I dug Spider-Gwen a lot too, like which I'd only heard a little bit about, so I wasn't like too familiar with the whole scenario. But like, that's an interesting angle, which is that.
And what was really cool too, with
Peter dies and stuff like that.
The movie is they integrated all these styles. So when they introduced Spider-Gwen and she's given it looked like the comic book. Spider-Man Noir looked like the comic book.
Yeah.
You know, the Penny Parker was an anime, and every time it cut to her, it was like different animation styles.
Spider-Ham seemed like a
cartoon.
Yeah,
it is really well thought out, and it is pretty amazing. I read some reviews where they were like knocking the animation style. I'm like, what are they talking about?
I think that they're like either they don't understand that that's what it's supposed to do, or they're like just annoyed by it being different than everything else that's CG animated. Because that's the thing that makes this pop above all the other things we've just said. Like the thing is like you're right. A lot of CG animated films do look too similar to each other and are only defined by the different character designs and drawing styles. This intentionally decides, okay, we're going to look different.
Yeah,
it's like when UPI was going up against Disney and they clearly changed the aesthetic game.
And I think you have to, because that's what we've missed in hand-drawn animation is each movie's unique.
Yeah.
And now it's CGI, and not that they look great. They're amazing-looking films, but you lose the uniqueness to them almost.
It's hard to distinguish it unless you're very clear on your vision. Like, Jendy Tartarovsky kind of gets away with it with those Hotel Transylvania movies because they are clearly...
The third one especially.
Yeah, I would agree. And they have a distinct style, but like, this isn't to knock Disney at all because they do great work, but like, all their films, like none of their films, like have necessarily a distinctive style, with the exception of Zootopia, of recent years. Like, and I guess Wreck-It Ralph, but Wreck-It Ralph kind of lends itself to that. But like Frozen, Moana, and like the princess movies, they tend to all look very similar. And I guess I was also fascinated by. I liked that we got a good Kingpin story, which I haven't watched all of Daredevil, so I don't know how great. D'Onofrio is as Kingpin, but
he's pretty good.
I'm sure he is. Like,
especially season 3.
Yeah, I mean, I won't deny that. Like, I just haven't seen it yet. But because I only watched like the first 3 episodes of Daredevil season 1. But Liev Schreiber as Kingpin was pretty fucking great. And again, being Spidey ignorant for the most part, other than like the basics, I didn't know Kingpin had a family.
Yeah, he does. In the series, he doesn't have the kid.
Right, but
I was wondering if Vanessa is a creation of the Daredevil series or she's from the comics. Ryan. Ryan has left the table.
We'll be right back after this.
No, Vanessa Fisk is in the comics, and she did not know that her husband was the Kingpin of crime, and because of so that scene in the film where she walks in with her son and she sees him being up Spider-Man, that's directly from the comic books. And her son actually becomes a crime boss called the Rose. Oh, that's a spoiler. So, I mean, I guess it's like 30 years old. But so anyways, when his son got older, he started challenging the Kingpin and like, who is the Rose? Who is the Rose? And then it revealed that it was his son who was supposedly dead. And he came back and like challenged the Kingpin and ruined him.
Yeah, because in the Netflix series, it's just Vanessa. There's no kid, and she's like into the fact that he's a crime boss.
Yeah. So. In Spider-Man 2, she dies, and he does try to get her back constantly. It's good stuff.
But yeah, and I love Spidey Noir, obviously. Like, My Love of Black and White, like that totally fit me. But one thing that surprised the hell out of me, because I didn't know she was in this, Lily Tomlin as Aunt May. Yeah. And it's a fun Aunt May.
Yeah, no, and
badass Aunt May.
I love, too, that there really wasn't a montage of, like, quickly Miles being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He actually had to earn being Spider-Man, and I think that's really cool.
Who's his friend in Homecoming? His
Ned.
Because Ned's in the movie.
Well,
but
it's Genki is, like, the actual character that they repurposed as Ned in Homecoming.
Okay.
But yeah, he's an Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, but he's got great bits, even though he doesn't have a character really necessarily.
No.
But and I liked the whole like aesthetic of it, and just kind of like weaving in and out of like the different history of Spider-Man. And the thing was like, so a couple weeks ago after Stan passed away, you know, I said like, I don't know when I'm going to cry about it, because like I know I'm going to cry about it eventually. And it happened with his cameo, because it did 2 things. One, it reminded me of how much I love his inspirational words, and then his cameo ends with a fucking joke.
Yeah.
We're just like, no refunds for the Spider-Man mask. And we should explain the cameo is like he's
selling Spider-Man, but he's also saying that anybody can wear the mask, which he's always said.
Yeah.
And he thinks that's why Spider-Man's transcended time, is you never see his face, so he can be Indian, he can be Asian, he can be black, he can be Puerto Rican. It doesn't matter. And
right.
I think that's true, and I always go back because remember Donald Glover was talking about being Spider-Man, and
it's one of the best parts of his stand-up special.
Yeah, and people ask me, does Peter Parker have to be white? He doesn't have to be white. It's the character of Peter Parker that matters, not what color his skin is.
Yeah.
And it's I believe that 100%.
Right.
Because just find the best person to be Peter Parker.
Right.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah. And seeing this Stan cameo was like, oddly enough, it was the most moving that I'd seen in a while. Like, I mean,
did you see there's a Shaun of the Dead Easter egg in it? It's like Shaun from Dusk Till Shaun. And it's in Times Square. There's a poster, and Edgar Wright tweeted it. It was pretty awesome.
Oh, there's also a
the movie's so dynamic though. It's like
it's going to take a few watches to get everything.
Yeah,
I think.
and it's so dense too. Like I was just thinking, it's kind of like Lego Batman movie where it's its own thing, and it's also a good story, but it also honors the mythology with tons of Easter eggs.
There's a Seth Rogen. There's a Seth Rogen poster where Seth Rogen's a jockey and it says "Hold your horses."
And it's in the same vein as a Lego Batman, where it's still honoring who Batman is and doesn't really change his character, but the character has to learn something throughout it. And Lego Batman is about being part of a family.
Yeah,
and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, it's Miles learning to be a hero, where the other Spider-Men don't believe he's ready, and Spider-Women don't believe he's ready to be it.
Yeah,
but he proves that he is, and I think that's an awesome moment in the film. Like I said, it takes him. I mean, he's not even Spider-Man until the last 20 minutes.
Yeah,
so it's good.
Speaking of honoring the history, that post-credit sequence.
Oh, the post-credit sequence is amazing.
Fucking hilarious.
So at the end,
explain it.
Spider-Man 2099 uses. So in the comics, they have these rifts and bands, and they're able to go in between the multiverse, and the multiverse is controlled by the web, like a literal web. And every time a web breaks, something happens. In Spider-Verse in the comics, there's these guys called the Inheritors, and they're basically vampires that suck the life force out of Spider-Man. Anyways, so they put this wrist on, and Spider-Man 2099 goes back to 1967 cartoon Spider-Man in the same animation, and it's pretty awesome. And I mean, they even have a lot of the memes at the end where they're doing the credits. Like one of my favorite is when Spider-Man's laying on the train tracks with his laying kind of sexy
his draw me like one of your French girls Jack pose.
And it's that one's in there. So it is a dense movie, but it goes by really fast for being 2 hours and 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's well done.
Yeah.
And just that ending credit sequence alone, I was trying to imagine how that kind of animation is. It's so meticulous and detailed. If I was trying to make it in After Effects and there's multiple Spider-Men and they're flying and the camera's changing, I was like, oh my god, how much work! How many years did it take to make this?
I really hope that the Blu-ray and 4K actually has a real making of.
Yeah.
And they show you how to do it. That's my one complaint about Marvel stuff. I mean, I forgot to mention what I've been watching, but I watched the Mission Impossible Fallout, and that documentary is an hour and a half of all the cool stunts Tom Cruise does. So it's pretty badass because, I mean, I don't need to tell him, oh, we did this shot and this. How you jumped from an airplane at 30,000 feet is pretty cool. But, I want to see how they do that because I heard it was a blend of hand-drawn and computer animated.
Right, and it's using some kind of blur technique.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how they did that, and I really hope that they do, even though this is technically a kid's movie, I hope they spend some time and peel back the layers of it.
It's just going to be a dumb 5-minute tutorial how to draw Spidey.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's like my Hotel Transylvania 3.
Hey, but guess what? You can get out your crayons and you can do it, Ryan.
So I guess my next question is, do they keep making these movies?
I heard they are. They're making called Spider Girls or Spider Women, and it's going to be Spider-Gwen and Spider-Women all around fighting someone.
But the Miles Morales storyline is kind of this is it?
So far, I guess. So they're going to branch off and do other ones.
I mean, awards are trivial. However,
it has to win.
It has to win because I was actually rooting for Isle of Dogs to be Wes Anderson's win for finally, but I kind of want this movie to win.
This is nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It needs to,
And I mean, it's 98%, so everybody loves it.
Yeah, the only thing I see stopping it is Disney's monopoly on things usually, but that might change.
But it serves Disney for it to do well as well.
Yeah, technically,
because they still own Spider-Man.
Or they still have an interest.
They have an interest. They won't make any money off the movie, but they can make money off the character.
It was part of news, but I didn't get a chance to read it, so I didn't mention it. But I guess Marvel or Sony's trying to re-up on Spidey.
Oh yeah, well,
I mean, I would if I was Sony.
I mean, he's the biggest character they have, and then I mean, just loan him out to Marvel.
Yeah,
that's what you do. Next week we're seeing Mary Poppins Returns, which should be fun. There's 5 movies coming out, but I made the decision for Mary Poppins.
It's okay. We got a bunch of dead weeks that we can fill Aquaman and Bumblebee with.
Yep.
I can't wait to see Mary Poppins, y'all.
I know.
I want to capture the video and make a trailer of Mary Poppins Returns, but Yondu's in it. That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. Thanks for listening. Go see Spider-Man. Brandon,
thanks for having me.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Any parting words for our listeners?
Nope.
Should they see Goonies?
You should see Goonies.
Are you going to go see Spider-Man now, thanks to our review?
Yeah, actually, the movie sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's great. So,
cool.
You can see it out in Denmark. Do they have electricity there?
I think so.
Or is it all powered by windmills?
You got to pedal a bicycle.
Is there Swiss cake rolls there?
No, I don't think so.
Are the projectors hand cranked?
They have Danishes. They call them like Netherlands
muffins.
bread. They call it bread.
They call it local.
No parting words of wisdom. You're a doctor, for God's sake.
No, not really.
Be excellent.
What are
to
you a
each
doctor
other.
of?
I don't know. Cellular and genetic medicine.
Okay, so what genetic medicine should people be taking?
A lot of it. I don't know.
Any kind, just ingest most of it.
Are Flintstone vitamins included in genetic medicine?
Probably not.
Not! I've been taking it for 20 years.
You shouldn't have eaten that entire bottle last night.
Can you OD on Flintstone vitamins?
I know you have to do a pun on the title, but the title of this episode should be "Can you OD on Flintstone vitamins?" Or at least in the description, we answer the age-old question.
Yep. Thanks, Brandon.
You're welcome. Sorry, I wasn't more entertaining.
Yeah, it was awful. Don't worry, you won't be back for another 300 episodes, so we're good. You have time to build up your interview skills.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, watch some movies while you're gone.
Yeah.
Come back.
Come back, and then if you can't remember them, do what you did, bust them out on your phone. So, what movie do people need to see?
Incident in a Ghostland.
Okay, I saw. You remember from 45 minutes ago?
No.
You piece of shit. Oh, we forgot to say we watched Tommy Boy together.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen Tommy Boy in forever, and I've seen it so many times, but there's little moments that you forget. And I could not stop laughing when Rob Lowe at the end takes off running, and Chris Franken's running like, "Hey, you forgot your wife!" It's just funny.
That movie's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Every 10 minutes there's something.
Guy in a little.
Throw stuff off bridges. Plenty of stuff.
Plenty of stuff.
Yep. That's what we do. Watch movies. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye in Dutch or Danish.
I don't know how
you don't know how to say bye.
No.
How do you say hi?
Hey,
Motherfucker's
HUJ.
been there for 10 years. He's going to say bye in fucking
He always
Danish.
leaves the room and people are like, "Where's that guy going?"
You're literally the
Hasta la
you're
vista, baby.
literally the immigrants that people hate that come to their country.
I know,
You
I
don't
suck.
learn their language.
It's English. We speak English. Everybody speaks English.
So so they're taught another language.
Yeah.
And you can't make it.
Oh, no.
You went to university out there, and you can't make it a goal.
And all of them speak perfect English.
So let me ask you a question. So you've told me this, and I want you to say. So you went to the University of Copenhagen, not only for its great program, but what else do they do for you if you go to the University of Copenhagen?
I don't know.
Don't they pay for your schooling?
Oh yeah.
So they pay for your schooling, and you can't learn to say fucking hi or bye in fucking Danish.
Too much work for me. I can't be
They're
bothered.
like, oh, thank you for coming to our country. Here's money to do your research and get your doctorate.
I can say, me min gil låna du Belviasa.
Nice. What does that
Can
mean?
my goat borrow your bathroom?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a nice poll.
So they're so fed up with Americans that they're thinking about building a dike around the border.
And America's going to pay for it.
Yep.
All because of you.
Yes.
You went to school there, didn't bother to learn to say hi or bye.
There's a wanted poster of you in Copenhagen.
Just a drain on their resources.
What's that story you're telling me about? You were so drunk, you knocked over a bike, and the cops was like, "You're just going to leave it there?"
I was like, you don't understand. If I try to bend over, I'm going to fall, and I won't be able to get back up again. I was super hammered.
What did the cops say to you?
He was
That's
like,
not very
he
nice.
was like, you don't think that's weird? I was like, no. I'm from America. We knock over shit all the time and not pick it
The
up.
police are even trying to make you a better person.
I'm like eating Snickers, throwing the wrappers up.
It's okay, Brandon. We believe in you.
Can we give you a ride home? Fuck you.
So in
Thanks for
short,
helping us in our American-Danish relations.
You're welcome.
So
I'm
in
a
short,
liaison.
Copenhagen rules.
But it's fun.
You hear that, University of Copenhagen? You can pay for someone to get a doctorate. They don't even have the nerve to learn your language.
No, I tried. My problem was, in my defense, it was like it was 17-hour days in the laboratory.
Oh, I thought you said the language is going to be hard. No.
It's tough, but
so is everything in the lab in English?
Everything in the lab.
Oh.
So it's like half day. Most of the scientists out there are foreign, I think.
Oh, really?
There's like 10% of them are Danish, probably. Depends on the laboratory, obviously, but and it was tough. I mean, it was. I'm not that smart. I am not a language guy. So it was. I tried.
Hear your best effort.
I did. Dutch.
It's actually Danish, but
I mean fucking Danish.
Okay, I'll try it.
Okay, say what movie did you watch yesterday?
What movie did you watch today?
No, what movie did you watch?
The Birds and Allen routine.
Yeah.
What was Tommy Boy about?
And he was sitting on the shelf, and the clock was on the... and then the little duck was in the machine that got cooling.
Oh, I don't remember that Tommy Boy with the little duck in the machine and on the shelf, but all right.
Kellen, say goodnight, Gracie.
Bye. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big hang-up. Wherever there's a hang-up, you'll find a Spider-Man.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.